welcome into Lock and Live for NFL Week 12 with Uncle Phil. Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. Uncle Phil, how's it going?
Good. Absolutely just great. Looking forward to NFL. Been waiting for it ever since last Sunday. Man, I love NFL and love the regular season. I just freaking hate that there's only about 6 more weeks left of the regular season after this week. But we're going to enjoy it. We're going to keep making some money. And look, man, I know these teams, and we're going to make some money again today.
Absolutely. We got Grant in the chat. Says, let's beat the man today.
Hell yeah.
I couldn't agree more. But Uncle Phil, in NFL, you've been beating the man 25-8 in your last public plays.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's been good. Look, it's been a good roll. It's like 76%. It's hard to continue to do that. Really, it's kind of impossible to do that. But look, I just am really dialed in, especially when I can focus on one game and just really get in and dissect that game. Just really crushing those. But, sometimes, you just kind of see the field better, pro athletes, when they talk about basketball, they're like, hey, the basketball goal is huge when they're just in a zone. For me, when I'm seeing games right, it's just kind of a zone. It's really like I don't have to extend my card to play a certain number of teams. It's really I have to narrow it down. And right now I'm still in the narrowing down phase to like, okay, this is too many games. Let's reel it in a little bit and let's stick with the games that so let's increase our odds of winning a lot here.
Absolutely. Well, Uncle Phil, where are we heading first?
Yeah, look, guys, we're going to know where we're going first because both these two teams are 1:00 games today. So, let's put on our game faces early and get ready to roll. First game we're going to is we're headed to Nashville, where Seattle's coming to visit Tennessee. Look, that line is coming down from 13.5 to 12.5. I don't like the move on that, and I think it's wrong, to be honestly. And I think it may be, some people are against Sam Darnold because they saw he threw 4 picks against last night. But Sam Darnold really has a problem in big games where he gets tense against the Rams this year, the Rams last year, and obviously Detroit at the end of the year last year as well. Those are games there where he just kind of gets nervous. Sam plays better on the road and against bad teams, and those teams he demolishes. Look, Tennessee's got a really good defense, and I expect this game to be close through the first half. I really do. I expect it to be under, and you're going to be like, I can't believe they're only up 3 points or 6 points or 7 points, and you're like, this is going to be a sweat. But Tennessee's defense is going to get tired in the second half. It's what always happens because their offense just can't move the ball against good teams. This Seattle defense is an elite team. They're going to be really, really struggling to move the ball. I wouldn't be totally surprised if Seattle just blows them out from the beginning, but I more look for it to be close up until about halftime, and then after half for Seattle to eat in the second half and that game to be a blowout in the second half. And it's like a 17-point win. Feels kind of probably about right. Next game is we're going to Kansas City, where Indianapolis has come to visit. Look, Kansas City has got to win today, and I think that they probably will. But the 3.5, I don't like that. And I like Indianapolis, and I'll tell you why. Look, Indianapolis is coming off a bye. Kansas City, the real matchup that I look at in this game is that Kansas City is 31st in the entire league against play action. Guess who's number two offense at using play action? Well, that's Indianapolis. Indianapolis should do well today, and they should go score for score with Kansas City and should keep up. I look for a big day, particularly for Tyler Warren. Kansas City is one of the worst teams in the entire NFL. I think it's the worst team in the NFL at covering tight ends. So if you're looking for a fantasy play, look for Tyler Warren to have a big day today. Also, Kansas City or Indianapolis plays press man coverage mostly. And so that kind of takes a little bit of Travis Kelce out. So if you're looking for another a player prop today, look at Travis Kelce not to have a big day today, because he really finds zones and sits down. That's not what Indianapolis plays. So look, I look for this game to be close. The other thing that I look at is that Kansas City, when you look at the 5 teams they've beaten, the 5 teams they've lost to, the 5 teams they've beaten, 4 out of the 5 are not playoff teams. Only 1 out of the 5 is a playoff team, and that's Detroit. And Detroit's got its own issues, as we've kind of discussed. But the 5 teams they've lost to are all playoff teams. Well, guess what Indianapolis is? Indianapolis is also a playoff team. I expect this game to be close. 3.5 is too much, and I think the half point is probably getting that because the public is so much of a Kansas City fan, and you're getting a lot of money on Kansas City. So give me Indianapolis plus 3.5 as my best bet. And if you like that one, you'd really love my bonus pick, because I can even give a lot more substantiation to it and wish I could break that down to you. But it's obviously in the notebook. But anyway, those are 2 big plays for me today. And I think we should go 2-0 on those.
Love it. Go Seahawks, go Colts.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get it rolling on the questions. Got tons of them pouring in. First on the line, we got James Bennett. He says thoughts on Packers and Vikings.
Look, some people I know and that I trust are on Green Bay, but they're on Green Bay because they think that Green Bay is that it's time that their offense is just going to be unleashed tonight or this afternoon. And I don't know. I mean, that takes a lot of faith to believe that, for me. But do I put money on J.J. McCarthy? And I can't do that either. So for me, I just don't see this game. I don't see it scoring a lot of points. That's why the total's so low. And if I do anything, I'd probably lean toward the under in this game. But I just can't put good money on this game just because of, the variables of the 2 teams that you just don't know right now. So for me, it's a stay away game. But if I did anything, I'd lean toward the under in this game, even though it's a low total.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the question there, James. We had 8D wondering about Patriots and the 7.
Yeah. Look, I think that's it. The Patriots are one of the most bet teams out there. Now, the book right now, casinos really need Cincinnati. And if you want to be on the side of the books, you're going to bet Cincinnati 7.5. But you're really going to have to swallow hard with Joe Burrow not playing. And, a lot of times teams that are just a week away from getting their quarterback back, tend to kind of look ahead. It's kind of like us looking forward to vacation. If we're going to vacation next week, or just like, this week's kind of not as productive for us. And that's kind of the way teams look as well. So you're kind of having to look. Cincinnati's just like, okay, well, whether we win or not, it's house money, but really looking forward to next week, and we'll step up for play when Burrow comes back. And obviously Chase is out as well. Jamar Chase is out for stupidly spitting last week. So anyway, I just, it would be, for me, the logical bet is the Pats on that game. But, Las Vegas really, really, really needs Cincinnati. And, when that happens, there's usually a backdoor cover, and I would be concerned about it. I really wanted to play New England this game, but I wouldn't because of that. If you wanted to do something else with New England, like tease them down just to win, I'd be comfortable with that. But it'd be tough for 7. I think it's 7.5 now. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be one of my plays just because of that. It's like the number 1 need of the books right now.
Awesome. Hey, well, thanks for the question there, 8D. Let's keep it rolling. We got a question from JB about Bears Steelers, and then also from Lenores with the under in that game.
Yeah, I played the side in that game, JB. So, and it's in the notebook. So I won't be talking about that. But the total in this game is surprisingly actually going up a half point. So the late money coming in on this game is actually saying these two teams are going to score more points than you would expect. And that's probably the right side, just because, Chicago's got their linebackers out. And that's going to give an opportunity for Steelers to for their offense to do a little bit more, even though Mason Rudolph's in today with Aaron Rodgers being out. I expect them to be able to run the ball, sustain some drives, for them to be able to score some points. But they're going to have to today, because I think Chicago will score as well. So this should be a really entertaining game. I'd probably lean toward the over just because that's where the money is going. But I can see a pathway of how it gets there. I think the under, I'd be sweating the entire game.
Okay. Thanks for the question there, Lenores. Next up, we got Bill Brand, Saints Falcons. Ugly game, but any angle there?
Yeah. I mean, not much. I feel like the line has really gone toward the Saints. And I think people just remember Tyler Shough beating a very lifeless Carolina team. This is really a bad New Orleans team. I didn't play it, and again, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is the second coming of Joe Montana, but you kind of feel like that this line has moved a little bit too past or below further than it should. I'd probably take if I played anything, I'd take Atlanta in the points in this game. Okay. But again, not one of my favorite plays at all. Not something I'm even personally playing, but that's the way I see it.
Awesome. All right, we got Joey Rex bets, rapid fire, Cowboys Eagles.
Look, love that game. It's in the notebook, but I took the total in the notebook. I didn't play the side. If the line was 3.5, I would take Dallas, but it's 3, and I don't like it at 3. Although Dak is 21-2 at home against division opponents since 2017. So, Cowboys have an advantage there. But this is a different matchup for Dallas, and you could certainly see Jalen Phillips. I mean, what a phenomenal addition by Howie Roseman, not to get too far off track. But, I mean, what an amazing job for him. I mean, he gave up a third-round pick for this immediate impact player that's good against the run and good against the pass. Like Micah Parsons is just good against the pass, but not so much good against the run. And although Micah, I'm not saying Micah's bad because Micah does lead the league in pressure, so phenomenal job there. But he traded him for a third-round pick, and it's in his last year. And if he decides to leave, they get a third-round pick back. So really, they're renting him, and they're getting an extra player, and they essentially get the third-round pick back if he leaves. So just a phenomenal job there. So I think that Jalen Phillips could be a really bad matchup problem for them, and I could see a path where the Eagles cover this game. And even though history is on Dallas's side, and like I said, at 3.5, I like Dallas. At 3, it's a no touch for me.
Okay. Hey, Joey, thanks for the question. Best of luck today.
Yeah.
We got a question on Instagram Live from Steven. He wants to know about the total in the Cleveland-Vegas game.
It's a low total. I think that everybody's expecting it to go under. I think that's the gut reaction. I would go the opposite way. Cleveland's defense doesn't play as good on the road. And so that gives some some leeway for the Raiders to score points, which will help. And then Cleveland, I think that they can score points if they're going to run the ball. I think that's it. But I think Shedeur will have some time to throw a little bit as well. The Raiders are 27th in the league in pressure, so that should open up the opportunity for Shedeur to throw the ball. So I think it could be a little bit more points than people think. And also, Shedeur and Geno Smith. We already know Geno Smith's a turnover machine, and you can almost I'll bet anybody here that both of those people will have. I bet anybody here that $100 that both those guys will have a pick today. I mean, it just is going to happen, and those picks could be pick sixes for both of them. And so it automatically gives you 14 points right there that could and probably have a good chance of happening. So I would look at the over in that game. That would be my lean in that one.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the question there, Steven.
Yep.
We got a question from Andrew. Not a question, a comment. He just says Jags roll today on the ground. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, could. I mean, it's in my notebook. I could certainly see both teams doing well. Arizona does not have much of a home field advantage, so I could certainly see that scenario play out. I could also see. Jacoby just had, or Jacoby Brissett just had the game of his life in a career game. He tied a record for most completions, went 47 of 57 last week. So, I don't know if he'll do that today. I think the Jags defense is a lot better than San Francisco. So I don't know. I honestly I could certainly see a scenario with that, but I could see a scenario where Arizona plays well too. I don't know if, there's a part of me, it's like Jacksonville should go take care of business. And then there's a part of me that is Jacksonville, are they legit? And so I guess I could see it both ways, but I did take a side on it, and it's in the notebook.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the comment, Andrew. Best of luck today. We got Grant chimes in. He says, any player props you like?
Yeah, look, player props I like. I would go Dak under his rushing yards. I don't think this Philadelphia defense will allow him to go, and I think his rushing yards are around 12. I could see that not happening. I would take Travis Kelce under whatever yards and receptions he has. I would take Tyler Warren over his yards and reception. I mean, there's a lot of player props I could probably like. I just tend not to focus on those on Sunday because, I'm so busy with the sides and the totals, and it's really on the primetime games where I dial in and start dissecting teams, and that probably is what helps me do well, is because I kind of get into the minutia of the games, and my record on primetime games is unbelievable, and it's because I can just focus in on one game and really dissect it pretty well. But, those are just a few, but I don't know. I'm sure there's some others. I just haven't looked at it that well.
Okay. All right, Grant, thanks for the question.
Yep.
Let's take a couple more before we take off. We got Bob. Can you talk about Bucks Rams, please?
That Sunday night game, and I won't be discussing that one here yet. I will. That one will be out tonight.
Okay. There you go, Bob. Out tonight.
Yep.
Next up, we got Mitch. Pretty niche question. Lions defense or Vegas defense to score? I mean, do you like any of these defenses to get a touchdown? I mean, it's
both.
It's hard to, yeah.
Look, Jameis in his second game, usually the turnovers come. And I would kind of expect Jameis to have one of those today. And, I still remember Jameis's press conference where he said, I just wish the Lord would deliver me from pick sixes. And I will never forget that. He's unbelievable. And so he knows it. Everybody knows it, that he's got a propensity to throw those. And Shedeur is probably going to throw one, as we kind of talked about earlier. So it's a coin flip to me. I think I see both of those teams probably getting one pretty easily. So I see that.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch, thanks for the question there. All right, Uncle Phil, we're about an hour and 5 minutes to kick off.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we take off?
Look, guys, I'm expecting a big day today. Appreciate you guys joining in. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Safe travels this week. Before you get on the road, let's make some freaking money today. Guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Let's have a day. And as always, guys, let's